Have you ever wondered what 9 years of a natural fitness journey looks like? Well, it looks a little something like this.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as I promised on Instagram, this is my fitness transformation video. So I am sharing with you guys all the different stages of my fitness journey and how some of my crazy transformations happened. So let's go through all of these before and afters and we'll cover everything. But first, I wanted to let you guys know that my fitness app Train For You has 8 premium programs. So these programs are gonna help you accomplish all sorts of goals: fat loss, weight gain, muscle gain, strength gain, Pilates, flexibility. So you guys have so many options through my Train For You on-demand app. So make sure you go check out that app at trainforyou.ca. And now let's get to the video. Okay, so we're gonna start with my favorite before picture. And the reason why it's my favorite before picture is because it is the picture that I intentionally took as my before picture. So I took this picture because I was ready to reach my goals. I wanna gain some glutes, I wanna get thicker, I wanna just look hotter. So the funny part about this part of my life is that I had no idea how to do that. So I just did like cardio, I did the elliptical a lot, I did a lot of lightweight, like body weight, high volume. I did cardio, like insane amounts. I also didn't have any control over my diet really because I lived with my parents, I lived with my mom, and she cooked for us. So when she didn't cook for us, it was like fast food, and when she did, we had her food, and there was no kind of balance. My family wasn't really super balanced in terms of nutrition. So I just kind of ate randomly, lots of fast food and pop and caffeine and just a lot of things that are not ideal when you're trying to accomplish any fitness goals or just really any goals at all. It just was an unhealthy lifestyle, and I wasn't really aware. Once we get to this phase, I was kind of partying a lot, but I had been working out for a while. As you can see, you know, there's a little bump there, you know, the glutes are growing a little bit, you can see some hammies. So I kind of did start to see results, and this was the phase when I started to incorporate weight training. So I started to do weight training. It was still very light. I was still very nervous to try to put heavy weights on. I wouldn't even think of it at the time. I was so scared. And I remember the day actually, me and my friend, my gym partner at the time, she and I did the barbell squat. I remember for the first time, and we were so nervous, and we did it, and we were like, oh, okay, nice. And I remember before that, we had been doing the hack squat machine, and that was the only machine that we really put some weights on, and we were getting stronger at. And we thought that we could lift the same amount on the barbell back squat, and so we put it on, and literally I remember putting my back on it and trying to lift it, and I was like, oh my god, no, there's absolutely no chance that is coming off of this and being squatted by me. So we just tried to practice with the bar, and we kind of just did it as we went. We didn't really know what we were doing. This whole kind of phase, like all these pictures that I'm showing you now, I'm going to show you a couple now. These were all kind of in that phase of starting to work out, gaining some muscle for sure. I probably gained about 10 pounds from the first one to the second one I showed you, and I was definitely had more glutes, and I started to develop. So that was nice, but it was definitely not as quick as it could have been, and I wasn't living a healthy lifestyle. So at that point in my life, I was partying a lot. I would go out probably like 4 days a week, Thirsty Thursdays, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sundays sometimes, but usually probably not. I was drinking so much caffeine, pop, fast food, just like did not care, did not know. So it took a little bit of time. So now this next kind of batch of photos I'm going to show you are when I actually started to learn how to weight train. So I started to try to lift heavier, did more glutes dominant exercises, did lots of research, was really interested in it, and this is when it became more of a passion for me. And this was actually the same phase when my doctor basically prescribed the gym and a healthy diet to me. So what happened to me was I had really bad anxiety, and it was actually chemically induced anxiety from me doing so much alcohol, weed, drugs, just all the crazy stuff that I did when I was partying in university. And I had really bad anxiety. I couldn't look at my feet, I couldn't go to exams, I couldn't drive, I was just having panic attacks all the time. So I went to the doctor and I told him that, and he basically like looked at me suspiciously, and he's like, what have you been up to in your life? Basically saying, I know that this is not how your brain just operates. You've definitely done something to cause this. What is it? What's going on in your life? So we ended up having a conversation. I shared with him the truth, and he basically prescribed to me sobriety. He said, be sober, he prescribed to me sobriety, but also the gym and also a healthy diet. So he said, be sober for 3 months, go to the gym, work out, and eat properly for 3 months, and your brain will reset itself. And I looked at him and I was so mad because I went there with the intention of getting medication because it was just so bad. It was so prevalent in my life. And I'm like, well, look, I need help now. He's like, just suffer with it for a minute. I'm telling you, you don't need medication. Cut these things out of your life for 3 months and your brain will reverse the damage. And your brain's very plastic, it can do that. So just go with the flow and you'll see. By the 3-month mark, and I swear it was the 3-month mark, because I was waiting. By the 3-month mark, the anxiety was gone. Absolutely gone. I couldn't even induce it. I couldn't even do the things that once caused the anxiety and actually have anxiety. Like, it was gone. And I was like, oh my God. And that was the first time that I really was like, okay, fitness, health is medicine. It is life. It is exactly what you need to be doing. And that was when I really fell in love with it. So at this phase, when you see my body in these pictures, this was when I had really fallen in love with the gym and started to actually really research it, really try to eat healthy, buying my own groceries. I used to take the bus from my parents' house to the grocery store and carry like 6 bags of groceries home on the bus. It was crazy. I just got really obsessed, and that was when I saw the most results. So I guess I'll be more specific. So what I did at that phase was I went from doing 2 workouts per day to 1. I still did cardio, but I didn't do as much. I started lifting heavier, trying to challenge my weights. I really prioritized lower body exercises, but I also did upper body exercises and did try to grow my upper body strength, which did end up being really beneficial later because you do need to have some strong strength in your upper body to lift heavy in your lower body. Like, you can't just completely unbalance it. I'm glad that I was just overall excited to be working out because I did really work out my full body. And so through that, I also ate properly. So I would have greens at every meal. I had like all of my wheat, all of my bread and rice and noodles and everything like that were all whole wheat. So it was higher quality than just like white processed grains. And then I also would eat protein. So I started eating protein back then, protein shakes. And that was kind of what took me from here to here. And that process took not too long. I would say maybe about a year. And there was quite a bit of plateau within that year as well. The big change that you see from this picture to this picture is genuinely my personal training experience. So I ended up becoming a personal trainer at some point in this journey, and this was around that point. And that training really helped me figure out how to progressively program my fitness journey to create results consistently. At that point, I was just really obsessed with the gym. I worked there and I trained there and I hung out there with my friends, my coworkers, and I was always at the gym, like always at the gym. So what I did to achieve this body, I lifted extremely heavy and ate an extreme amount of food. But I was also extremely active. I was always on my feet, working with clients, working out at a high intensity. I did stop doing cardio around this time, so this body is not a cardio body. This is like heavy weights, pretty clean diet, but still not super clean, but pretty clean diet. I think this was around the time when I could squat 225 pounds. I really got strong, and as you can see here, my upper body was strong as well. I trained my upper body actually quite a lot at that point. That phase, like when I really grew the bulk of my muscle, even probably the muscle I still have today, was in this phase. And it was when I was eating 3,000 calories per day. I was lifting extremely heavy, always increasing my weights, always trying to get stronger. I trained at very specific intervals. I also ate at very specific intervals. It was really important for me and for my results to eat really regularly. I prepped my food often as well, and I cooked all the time. I was not eating out as much. I still partied, but not as hard or with drugs or anything like that, or as frequently. So this phase was really, really big for my kind of forever body. I grew it here. This was in 2018. By 2019, I ended up getting into quite the toxic relationship. So at this point, my Instagram grew quite a lot, and my boyfriend at the time really hated my social media. I knew that my relationship was suffering because of this thing, but I really love this thing, and I couldn't really find a way to balance it. This phase, as you can see, my body changed for the worse. I mean, it's not like I look terrible, but as you can see by my face, I was not impressed with that picture or that body shape at all. I got bloated, I stopped working out as heavily, I stopped caring as much about working out because I was just so infatuated and kind of like possessed by a person that I just put my goals kind of to the side. That led us to this picture, and this picture is another one that I use very often in my before pictures because it was really like one of the worst times of my relationship. And I'm going to show you the before and after. So this was like 1 year later, and my muscles like atrophied, my strength went away, I lost a bunch of fats, like I just was so skinny and so unhappy. This is what a stressed body looks like compared to what it looked like when it was happy, when it was vibrant, when I was doing the thing that I loved and investing my passion into creating my body and creating my business and everything like that. So it's actually quite sad, but it is what it is. And this is when I kind of started to get happier again. And me and him actually got back together, and our relationship was much better. It wasn't great, but I basically told him if we get back together, I don't want to hear anything about my Instagram. I don't want to hear it. I'm done. Like, don't interfere with my business. Don't interfere with my life like that. Like, I'm not doing that ever again. This was like the beginning of kind of my COVID transformation. So we're in the COVID transformation phase, which is one of my favorite phases because my COVID transformation phase was honestly just unreal. Like, I just went crazy. So as you can see, my glutes kind of came back. I was looking much better by this point. And then here you go. This is October of 2020. So this is after kind of an entire year of training from home, which I didn't think was going to be great. But what happened was I had nothing else to do in my life. So I just literally just worked out and cooked. And I cooked so much. I ate so much good food. I stayed home. I just was in my zone, really healthy lifestyle. I was really, really trying to get my body back at this point. So I'll show you kind of like a before, middle, and after. So the before picture is my before, like when I was fit, after I had gained a lot of muscles and strength and everything. The middle is the toxic relationship phase where I basically was just depressed. And then the after is now, or then 2020 October, after a year of kind of just healthier living, focusing on myself, my food, my nutrition, and very little stress because he was not stressing me at this point in my life. And then yes, you can see here as well, this was December 2020. So by the end of the year, I went from this to this, and this was one of my peaks. I was really, really proud of this phase of my life because I gained a healthy weight. I was strong. I was working on so much, like intellectually, spiritually. So now I'll show you April 2021. So this, I would say, is probably like the thickest that I liked myself being was right here. And I really, really liked this look. I really, really liked my body then. I felt really healthy. I was really healthy. And from January 2021 until summer, so June of 2021, I was sober. In the phase between April 2021 to the next picture I'm going to show you, which is in 2022, I went through a very interesting developmental phase of my life because it was after the relationship, which I had been in for 3 years at this point. It was after COVID. It was after just feeling like I needed to not be myself or not have fun. I couldn't really even go out with my friends in that relationship because he was so against them and he's so judgmental of them, and just like it was just so much of my life was taken between those 3 years that I was like, I'm just going crazy. I'm gonna have fun. I'm just gonna go out. Like, I don't care. I wanna meet a bunch of new people. So I went right back into that world. And during that phase, I'll show you a picture of myself. I really lost a lot of weight during that phase because when you drink, you actually don't metabolize your food as well because your body's trying to metabolize the alcohol to get it out of your body more than the food. So I was just like full of calories, full of like lacking nutrition, and my body just went. I also didn't work out as much. By the end of all of that though, this is what I looked like then. So this was kind of like still when I lost quite a bit of weight. and I was much skinnier. Then by March, I just gained it all back. I was like, nope, I'm not letting anything take away my body that I love so much, so I'm gonna get that back. And I did. So this was probably the thickest I ever was when I really liked how I looked. I said that before about the other one, but this was actually the one. I remember taking this picture and just being like, oh, Snatch, like you look good. And then this is where it started getting a little crazy. So as you can see, I developed fat in my stomach. My glutes were really big, but you can tell that they're like fat. And not that having fat on your body is like necessarily super bad, but it wasn't my goal. I've been in fitness for years. I've been trying to be healthy for years. And in this phase, I was partying, I was drinking, I wasn't working out much. I was working out maybe 2 days a week if I'm lucky. And I was just very sedentary. I didn't walk, I wasn't active. I was just kind of sitting around. I don't even remember what I was doing in that time of my life. I was just not doing much at all. This is still that phase. I obviously look pretty decent in this photo, but you can see in my arms they're fatter. You can see in my waist, it's pretty big. My glutes were huge, which was really nice. I really loved that. But other than that, I was quite big. In my face, you can see it. And so this was when I was 155 pounds. And I think this was the biggest I got. Yeah, see this picture, you can see even better because that one, I had a good angle going on. This one, you could see the waist. This was me sucking in. And I was just way too big for my comfort and just for my body. So during this phase, I was so lethargic. I was so tired. I was so unable to do prolonged activity. What I did from there, that was from April, and then a year later, this is an updated photo. So did I try super hard to lose fat? No, I didn't go into an elected deficit, but I did try to lower my portions. I tried to be a little more active, go for walks, and I started doing my daily morning walks. I'll show the before and after, literally wearing the exact same outfit. And you can see, obviously, I lost stomach fat, I lost fat in my face, even my lower body, it's a little more toned. It's still bigger because I was still bigger at this point, but I was much more fit, and I was working out regularly, and I was walking, so I was able to lose quite a bit of fat during that phase. And that brings us to now. So now, I really love where I'm at. I think where I'm at right now, though, what I want to accomplish is to grow more glutes. And when I say grow more glutes, I don't mean my glutes just to get bigger. I want to grow more glutes muscles. Because what I've realized is for all of these years, I've been eating to grow my glutes because I have good genetics. So my fat goes to my lower body for the most part. But as you saw, it started to work its way up to my face, to my arms, to my stomach. I was like, what the heck is going on? And it's probably because I got older. But my fat loss, but with my goals being gains, what I'm gonna do is have a well-balanced workout regimen. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a split between hypertrophy and I'm doing Pilates. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want my body to have a well-balanced challenge to it, not just heavy weight training all the time, because your body gets used to what you stimulate it with a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm doing 2 lower body hypertrophy workouts per week, so heavy hip thrust, heavy squats, heavy lunges. I'm really trying to target my muscles for growth. Then the other 2 days of the week, I'm gonna do a Pilates upper body and full body. So you're gonna get a little bit of legs challenge in there, but mostly core, upper body, balance, that type of stuff. And that's gonna be really helpful in the long run for being a more functional human and having a well-rounded body. I'm also gonna be doing cardio, which I have not been doing throughout my journey. For most of it, when I was trying to gain, I never did cardio. That is a mistake. Cardio helps with your circulation, it helps with your heart health, it helps you have more endurance so you can endure more weights as well for longer. And if you have a stronger cardiovascular system, you can lift heavy weights longer. A lot of the times when I'm lifting at the gym, I get cardiovascularly gassed. I am actually dying, and I'm like, just by lifting weights. And that's also not ideal if you want to be able to lift heavy for longer. And the heavier you lift for longer, the more gains you're gonna make. So it's good to have a lot of cardio in your program as well, and to actually challenge yourself in that way, not just for your body, but for your health. So if you are looking to make similar types of gains, you can go on my Train For You On Demand app, which is just an unreal resource. I have so many I think I have over like 120 workouts on there. I have 8 programs that I've created for you. Make sure you guys check out trainforyou.ca for all the programs. I have beginner programs, intermediate, if you're advanced, which I would consider myself, I do these programs and they're still challenging. Each program costs $35 to buy individually, but you get access to all of them for $15 a month, and they're 4 weeks long, so you can really just kill it for as long as you want to be on the app, and then you can cancel whenever you want, no penalties. So make sure to go check it out. I want you guys to see the results I did. I want you to be able to not make the mistakes I did by having proper guidance, by doing the proper things right away instead of learning 2-3 years later how to actually train like I did when I got my personal training certification. So take my knowledge, take my programs. I made them not just like based off of my program, I made them based off of what I know to be the right way to train. So if you train on them, if you follow what they say, you will see results. And don't be hard on yourself though. It's hard to get into anything. You just need to keep going, you need to keep trying. And as you saw, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And I'll tell you, my favorite body type is my body right now, because I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I'm working out in the healthiest way I've ever worked out, meaning just very well balanced. I'm eating fairly well right now. I haven't been eating that great, I'm not gonna lie. It's exam season, I've just been, and I've also been sick. I don't know if you can tell in my voice, but I'm just not doing the best right now with that, but I'm going to get back into it this week coming up and get into my programs. So join me, join the challenge, join the workout programs, come onto my app, let's work together and see results. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it showed you all the different phases, inspired you a little bit. Just know that if you're fluctuating, it's normal. We all go through it, we all see it. Keep on working and you will get those gains or those fat losses or that strength or that cardio, whatever you're doing. You're a human being, your body adapts to what you expose it to. So just keep working hard and you'll accomplish everything. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. It's a little long. I don't know what I'm gonna end up cutting it down to, but we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and press the notification button so you know when I post. I love you guys.